Hi, my name is Richard Crawford, host of Supply and Demand, an enlightening webcast show where we delve into the dynamic world of the global supply chain, where we navigate through the complexities, disruptions, and innovations that shape this vital network of interconnected businesses. From sourcing raw materials to delivering finished products, we'll uncover the challenges that arise at each stage and explore the strategies for optimizing efficiency and sustainability. And each week we'll highlight and discuss a specific supply chain event. Now, Kerim, you're joining me today, but this is a rather special episode today. Something that we haven't, I don't think we've done it in this format. Give us a little background on what our audience are going to hear and see today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, first of all, we were both in Vegas, you and I, but we were there at different times for different things.
Yep.
So, the show doesn't stop, so we got to keep it rolling.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I was
Yep.
actually, I was fortunate to be asked to chair an event which is called Deliver. They have three locations, one which is in the Americas, which was in Las Vegas, one which is in Singapore, which is coming up in March, and then one which is Amsterdam in June. And it's a really very cool supply chain event that focuses on two big things, really, which is networking and sustainability. And they operate according to this three P's principle, which is people, the planet, where everything they were doing was around, recycled materials and reutilization of product and so on. And even no water bottle, no plastic in the event, all that kind of thing to be really kind of very conscious. And then the third is basically profit. And this is a profit neutral organization where they donate back all the profits that they make at all of their events to socially conscious focused efforts. So really a very noble organization. And what was neat about it was everybody was on the same kind of mental wavelength about this. So, there was Disney there and Walmart was there and Lacoste and Comar brands and a lot of really interesting technological companies and supply chain innovation companies were there. And everyone was talking about their advancements, what's happening in supply chain, but all with this, particular, idea in mind about reducing carbon footprint, efficiency, and so on. And so, essentially, I was, after I chaired and sort of between different, panel discussions, I was able to interview, several brands similar to what we did at some of the other shows that we've been at together. And we're going to bring in some of that content and go from there. So, that was really the main crux of the show. I also was able to talk about the supply chain ups and downs book. People really liked what we were doing there, and I was able to give some complimentary copies to a lot of the folks there. And it was just a great event all around in Vegas, and a very, very interesting organization and event in general.
Well, cool. Well, let's run some of those interviews.
What do you think about the speakers here? What have you seen at this event that's been very interesting for you?
I think what's been amazing about this event is that the speakers that they brought in are like super authentic. They really talk about how they see the future. They talk about their observations. They are not shying away from pointing out things that are maybe controversial. And the second thing that I think has been really amazing is the number of innovative companies.
We help brands that manufacture their products over in Asia with their packaging. So from the design all the way to the production to their product factory.
Okay.
And we do a lot of things in between to provide value as far as sustainability and audits for the factory. So
Tell me about your connection to this show.
This show is great because we get to meet with a lot of serious brands that are very intentional in the process. They're not just kicking the tires.
Right.
So it's exciting when someone from Europe wants to come over and say, hey, we need a WMS. We want to set up a warehouse in the US. Or maybe they need fulfillment services. Because as part of Ship Hero, we also have LVK. That's our dedicated 3PL. That's 7 warehouses, 1 million square feet, and that's completely outsourced 3PL. We have clients such as Momofuku. I don't know if you've been over to, great noodles, great
Yes,
spicy crunch.
very good. I'm a big fan.
Me too. I went last night. So we fulfill for David Chang,
Okay.
for Momofuku. We have Lu Guitars, Yodo. We're really good about, lots and expiration.
what's unique about us is we have all the 4 products under one roof. So we have air, land, and sea freight. We do warehousing, fulfillment, pick and pack, and we do express and domestic deliveries.
And why are you at this show? Why Deliver? Why this conference? What are you expecting to see? How?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So for us, we wanted to come and interact with all the retailers, right? So there's a nice mix of US based and also some international retailers that are out looking for service providers like us. We also want to look at some of the technology providers that are happening, see what the new trends are, right? And we want to get the brand out, right? So Aramex is not really a known brand here. So we're trying to make sure that everybody knows who we are and what we do and all the great work we do around the world.
We're here with Patricia Marseille, Director of Trade Management and Supply Chain at the Walt Disney Company. We shared the stage together here at Deliver America, and it's been a wonderful experience. I mean, what do you think? What are you seeing here? What are you enjoying about this show?
I'm actually enjoying most meeting individuals like you.
I feel the same. I feel the same.
Because to me, it's the human experience side of all of this that's the best.
Right.
Plus, we're all sharing in diversity of thought and understanding
Right.
what it is that we're each doing in our spaces.
Correct.
Everyone's leaning into innovation in a different way and leaning into the dialogue in a different way. So I love gaining perspective on that.
Yeah, you have to get all these good people together in a room and facilitate the networking part of this. And I
Yeah.
think they do a really good job here. That seems to be the main focus.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm also enjoying more than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, what are some of the trends you're seeing at Walt Disney Company regarding innovation? You spoke a lot about, AI, which I think is just wonderful, and we're all trying to figure out the adoption of that and the collaboration when it comes to AI. I mean, what are your thoughts around some of this today?
Well, I think in the industry at large that AI is definitely the conversation, but it truly is about how is it that we engage when it comes to working out the space to implement the plan.
Yes, correct.
So everyone in regards to the conversation, well, the technology itself is moving very quickly.
Yes.
Right? So it's being infiltrated in pretty much everything that we do. But how do we prepare the human side of us
Correct.
to be able to engage with the actual technology?
Yeah, and I think that's
So-
probably the real challenge more than anything else.
Coesia is a multinational company, but is headquartered in Italy. Here in US, what we do as a company, as a group of companies, is automated equipment for industrial manufacturing, material handling, or advanced robotics. The reason why here in US is to address and support the needs of all those in e-commerce automation that require an automation for order fulfillment or material handling. Objective is basically to have 0 errors in order fulfillment. The possibility to basically have an automated equipment that give you the chance to produce a box on demand, right size, give you the chance to reduce up to 40% of the volumes of the box that you produce, which means 20% reduction in raw material consumption, which means loading 40% more per truck, which means reduction of the global footprint, the footprint that you generate and the emission of the CO2 that you have on the atmosphere.
So Logistic is a cost-saving and analytics platform. We help our clients make better decisions based off the data, their shipping data that is ingested into our platform. There's several different ways that we do it. Sometimes we just help folks with data analytics. Sometimes we help folks with better carrier pricing. Sometimes it's just invoice management. Out in the market, you pay for your shipping, your parcel, your truckload, your forwarding, all of your modes, right? And we just want to help you make better decisions based off of your data. That's what it is.
Now, the most important question I'm going to ask you is,
Okay?
tell me about the llama is this the mascot of the organization? Is that what's going on here?
It's the Logistic Llama. And I have to tell you, so my director of marketing is right in between us here. It's his brilliance.
His idea?
It is.
All right.
It is.
It's definitely eye-catching.
I'll tell you what, it has been the coolest thing. I never would have thought that I'd wear a hat like this for a couple of days.
Yes.
But here's what happens is just like you're doing right now, everybody's got a big smile on their face.
Yep.
It's totally opened up conversations and just helped us to have fun with it.
Aeros is the most successful, long-standing airship company in America. Design, develop, operate. Igor Pasternak, our founder, is the preeminent airship designer. So we've been in business for over 30 years making airships. What we've done today and what we're showing here, as you can see in the background, we've got a model of one of our airship designs with a delivery drone combining airships and delivery drones to enable last mile delivery, overcoming a lot of the challenges that industry has faced from a regulatory perspective with the Federal Aviation Administration.
So let me ask you a question. I mean, here at Deliver, they obviously have the 3Ps and they're pushing the idea of people and the planet, and they're obviously a profit neutral company. And it seems like so much is around the networking and the sustainability. I mean, how do you feel like that fits into what you all are
Well,
doing?
we won the Sustainability Award, so there you go. We're
Congratulations,
Yeah,
by the way.
thank you so much. We're grateful for that. I think someone took the prize itself home.
So my name's Brian Smith. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for UC Group.
Okay.
UC Group is a full-service supply chain and logistics company. Under the UC Group, we handle retail LTL consolidation. We have a full-scale brokerage, truckload. We actually have our own fleet of trucks as well.
Okay.
And we also have some new technology coming out for roadside assistance platform and so forth that we're launching in 2025.
Wonderful.
When we had the opportunity to come to the Deliver America show, it was really encouraging and enlightening to me, because when I looked at the capacity and capabilities of the show, not really open to the public, but really being a matchmaking show to a lot of suppliers and retailers that we currently work with, or we want to work with.
Sure.
And as you know, in the business sector, with everybody's life being so busy, trying to get those face-to-face meetings nowadays is really difficult.
Get everybody in one room.
Absolutely, in one room, and really having those candid conversations to say, hey, what are your pain points? How can we help? How can you help us? How can we help each other? How can we introduce you to our partners and things of that nature?
Very nice speaking with you, and truly appreciate the conversation.
Thank you.
Thanks again for coming to the show.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you next year.
All right.
Wow, Kerim. Well, that was some really, really good interviews there. A lot of innovation, a lot of insight, and fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was really unbelievable to sit with, some of these large scale organizations and leaders that are really focusing in on innovation in the supply chain, reduction of carbon footprint, everybody sort of doing their part to make sense of this, because we know that the global supply chain industry and transit is the 8th leading cause of greenhouse gases. So we need to figure out these planes and trains and automobiles and how to get these things from point A to B, as well as the entire manufacturing process. One group just in particular that I found super innovative and very interesting was a group that facilitated sort of consumer packaged goods and boxing. And what they did is they would run these algorithms. I think it was called Coesia. They would run these algorithms to say, all right, I have these 6 things that need to go in this box. And so like in Tetris, put it together in a way that it basically has the maximum protection for the products that are inside, whatever they are, and also the maximum reduction of space. So that when you do this and reduce the box size by, let's say, 20 or 30%, there's this kind of X carbon footprint, A, B, C, D. So it was so neat because it was using algorithms and AI and facilitate.
And the real work, Kerim, I see it every day. My partner we get an Amazon delivery every day. Sometimes the size of the box for the item that's in the box is absolutely ridiculous. Like it's crazy. I don't know where they're getting their algorithm from. I mean, it's Amazon. They should be able to figure it out. But yeah, it's disappointing, to be honest. The good news is when it comes to transport, the airlines are looking at this sustainable aviation fuel, which has about an 80% less carbon footprint. Still a long way to go to where that becomes truly relevant. But they reckon by 2000, did I say reckon? Oh, that's my Alabama. They reckon that by 2025, there'll be about 2 million flights a year using sustainable aviation fuel and producing about 5 billion liters a year.
And the goal, according to the COP28 conference, as you know, is to be kind of zero emissions by 2050. So, I mean, and that's why they had Maersk and all the large scale shipping lines that were all there, that were there in Dubai to talk about how that's going to get done. But it's not just about the transit. Again, it's also about the manufacturing process. So if everybody can sort of make these little shifts, not only will we be more efficient, but we'll hopefully kind of, cool down the planet a little bit.
So at the end of my presentations, I use this quote every single time. We don't want some people doing all the work when it comes to sustainability. We want everybody to do just a little bit, and that's where it'll make a difference. Unfortunately, I never know who said it, so I can't give anybody the credit.
Maybe it was said by Richard Crawford.
And I don't want to steal it because somebody will find out who said it and then accuse me of plagiarism.
Yeah, no,
But anyway, man, great time out there. Oh, by the way, you were at the Horseshoe, right? How was that? The old classic. And just back up a little bit. When we were there, the day before we got there, they imploded the Tropicana.
Yeah, I know, and that's just like that's
Iconic.
I know, iconic. You know, it was neat. You know, I think the Horseshoe was the former Bally's, and it was connected to Paris Hotel.
Yeah.
I sort of saw it a little bit because when I was there for the Alibaba conference a few weeks before, you know, we sort of wandered through the Paris into the Horseshoe.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was really kind of nice. I like and prefer the original Vegas feeling and style casinos, and that's why you and I like to go so much to that place, Michael's Gourmet Room at South Point Casino off the Strip, because you go in there and you just have a real sort of like Vegas.
You're stepping back in time to a very iconic era when it was, you know, the Rat Pack and and they've got the big high seats. It just feels, you know, at table service. It just feels like you've stepped back in time.
Yeah, I love that place, and I love really doing all of those old school locations in Vegas. We also did the Golden Steer one night that's been since 1958. We sat in the Joe DiMaggio booth, and across from the Joe DiMaggio booth was the Marilyn Monroe booth.
Yeah, right. There you go.
And so it's really just, it's so neat to just, when you go to Vegas, really try to get off the Strip a little bit and dig into some of the history.
Yeah.
You know, you and I have been there a little bit, way too much, but
and of course, try not to lose too much money. I haven't actually gambled. I've been to Vegas the last 6 or 7 times. I haven't even sat down at a table. I watched you do it one night.
Yeah, I mean, you watch me sit down and get up very quickly.
Right, exactly.
Just sitting there. You weren't there long watching.
Yeah. All right. Well, good show, buddy. That was something a little different for us, which I enjoyed. So I hope our audience enjoyed it just as much. And again, thank you to everyone for joining us here on the Supply and Demand Show. And don't forget to follow and like us at the Supply and Demand Show on LinkedIn and YouTube. And we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.